Hi, my name is Magdalena and this is Thomas, and we're here to talk about what Let Property Campaign is and what Marslands specialize in. So many landlords have questions about HMRC disclosure, and in this video we'll go through some of the most common ones that we hear from our clients. So Thomas, I've got a few questions for you, and I hope you'll be able to answer them for us.
Yeah.
So the first question is, what is Let Property Campaign and who is it for?
So the Let Property Campaign is an amnesty that HMRC introduced a number of years ago, and it's basically to help landlords who have not declared their property income in the past. So anyone who's like, for whatever reason, whether it's circumstances, personal circumstances, or they've just not realized they've been doing something wrong. That's who the Let Property Campaign's for, to sort of help them get back on track and get up to date.
Okay. And is the Let Property Campaign only for landlords who are renting property in UK?
No, so it's not just for in the UK. So we've had many clients who like live abroad, who um, have had properties in the UK that they've been renting, but we've also had people who have properties. The properties are abroad and they live in the UK that they haven't declared. So it's not specifically just UK based. It can also be sort of non-resident and properties that are abroad as well.
Okay, brilliant. And so what years are Hemacy likely to go back?
Um, so in terms of the number of years, it depends obviously on each person's situation. So usually it will go back however many years they've been renting the property. So if you've been renting it since 2015, for example, then you'd more than likely need to go back to 2015. Um, you can go back to a maximum of 19 years. It can be going back to 2006 if you've been renting it that long. It
Mhm.
completely depends on each person's situation. But yeah, it can basically go back as far as it can. There are a few circumstances where it may be less years. However, that is usually not very common, and it would be something that
Mhm.
would need to be discussed with us anyway. But yeah, for the most part, it would just be however many years you've been renting the property.
Brilliant. Okay. And so what records do I need to gather for my disclosure?
Um, so for the disclosure, the main information that you would need would be your income and expenses over however many years you've been renting the property. We would also need sort of the address of your property because that we need to declare that as well. And also the main other thing would be any P60s or other information, other income that you've received over that time, whether it's sort of employment income or pension income or just like dividends or anything like that.
Mhm.
So we basically need all that information to be able to work out sort of how much tax is due over the relevant years.
Brilliant. Thank you. And what happens if I don't make a disclosure and Hem agency contacts me first?
So if HMRC contacts you first, it's still okay. It can still be dealt with. It just means um, if you are prompted by HMRC with a letter, there's a few different letters you can receive. So some letters are better than others. Um, HMRC can also sort of launch an inquiry into your taxpayers if they did catch you first. There is a chance that might happen. So we always say it's best to make a disclosure first. First of all, you'll get lower penalties, and two, obviously, you're less likely to get that sort of inquiry launched into your affairs if you come forward first.
Brilliant. Thank you. And what penalties and interest am I likely to face?
So the interest is basically a fixed amount that HMRC have online. So once the tax is worked out, the interest is generated from that. The penalties are done on a sliding scale, so it can be between 0 and 100%, depending on sort of the circumstances around not disclosing it prior to doing the disclosure. Um, those penalties can vary also depending on whether you've been prompted or unprompted. the actual percentages is something that we can discuss with you when you sort of approach Marslands and have signed on with us. That's something we can discuss at a later date. But yeah, the penalties can vary from client to client depending on scenario.
Okay, thank you. And how do I notify HMRC that I want to use Marsland for let property campaign?
Um, so you wouldn't necessarily need to notify HMRC that they want to use Marslands. That's something that if you were to come to us um, and use our services, we can do all of the notifications for you. As long as obviously if you have received a letter, we do it within the 30 days. So that's something that we can make sure gets sorted. And it's just one less thing for people to worry about and something that we can do for you rather than having to worry about it.
Okay, that's amazing. So I think that's all of my questions. So thank you, Thomas, for answering them all for me. And I hope that anyone who is watching the video will find it useful. And if you're a landlord and worrying about how to make the disclosure, you can, please feel free to contact us and we'll be more than happy to advise you. You can contact us on marsland.co.uk, that's our website, or you can call us on 01752 344 582. Thank you.
Thank you.
Your next step is to go to marslands.co.uk and make an inquiry now.